I would like to call the meeting to order today, Thursday, March 21st, 2024. Members present is Mr. Carlos Blanco. Present. Ricardo Solis. Here. Mr. Luis Ramirez. Here. And Margarito Benavidez. And Eddie. Here, present. We've got a quorum. Mr. Garcia, we're going to proceed. Approval of minutes. Does anyone have questions regarding the previous meeting minutes or comments?
I guess they weren't emailed, right? This is the first time we've seen them?
I have asked Jerry, he usually emails them, though. But if you didn't get them, then just go ahead and review them, and if you have any comments, we can always make a notation.
Yeah.
Well, if my name doesn't come out.
Pepinos good for calambres.
Oh, I know, I've been getting a lot of those.
Very well. Con tomar poquito. And then drink water. That's what I do.
A motion to approve the minutes.
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Solis. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Ochoa. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rodriguez, you're still looking at that. Is it?
Aye.
No, yeah, no, because you were still looking at it. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're, okay. We're in line. Okay. Motion passes. Okay, now we're gonna go into communications. Item number 4.
Okay, communications, I know earlier I had taken the trip to DC to address some of the funding opportunities that are available for our secondary water, infrastructure, and some of these meetings went well. One of the things that I know with a council member that I tried to address is the importance of Amistad Reservoir, because that's our freshwater source, that's our holding reservoir. And we need to make sure that we take care of it, make sure that it's being maintained, and if there's an opportunity to increase capacity, we need to be able to do that. Because that's the investment for our future. Not only that, but then also look at groundwater, what's out there available. And there's some funding available. I think right now I'm in the process of evaluating the old study that we had done, to update it, and see what funding sources are available for our secondary water, or expand our water resource. In other words, it's not really a secondary source, it's just we have to have different avenues of ways to bring water to it. It's going to be groundwater, effluent reuse, the Rio Grande, making sure that it's stable. The 1944 treaty with Mexico, make sure that they're adhering to that policy. And then finding alternate sources, whether it be from desalinization of groundwater, brackish water, or water from the Gulf of Mexico. And I think the water from the Gulf of Mexico, I think that's something that's 50, 100 years down the road. Because eventually, I don't know what's going to happen. The river has its life, it goes through a cycle, but we need to manage that resource. And that's pretty much the summary of the trip to DC. Is we make sure that Amistad is in the forefront, because that's our main reservoir that feeds the Rio Grande, that feeds us and the rest of the valley down to the south. So we just need to make sure that it's being maintained, being operated, because we don't want to be in a situation where it's a flood control project and we have a tropical depression and all of a sudden it fails or something happens and it affects us long term. So I just wanted that to be front and center, is what I was trying to do. So, and I think I accomplished that. And currently that's the only other communication that I have right now. I don't know if you have any questions or comments you all would like to.
Any comments there? Members? Did you meet with, I have a question. Did you meet with Mr. Cuella out there? Did you talk to him? Good. Good. I saw an article in the newspaper, that's why. And he, mentioned.
Yeah. No, we had discussions about the dredging of the Rio Grande, the different things that we want to do for our intakes, things that I want to plan and program. But it's an ongoing discussion.
Good. Very receptive?
Yes,
Good.
they are.
Good.
We're getting the attention we need.
That's good. Well, we've been growing tremendously, not only on Laredo, but in South Texas and down in the valley. So I tell everybody water's gonna be more expensive. People complain, I tell them, you just gotta conserve, you gotta be careful. And some people listen. And I'm glad that no one has really punched me, but I had to tell them, hey, you all need to conserve. But it's gonna be, water's gonna be more expensive than whatever we do at one point.
Yes.
Hopefully I won't be here by then. I'm just playing. It's gonna be a while, that's all I'm saying, but it's gonna be expensive.
No, it's a resource, it's value, it has a lot of value. And then the rules, EPA, we find more contaminants, technology is improving, there's more things that we need to treat, the air quality issues, the air, sand, dust, there's so many things that we try to engineer it out, but to a certain degree, you have to find a balance. And that's what it is. Engineering is finding that balance. So it's just what we can tolerate, what the body can handle.
Thank you for representing us up in Washington DC, and thank you very much. Any other? No?
Yeah, I have a
Mr. Solis?
Yes. I know the free chlorine burn started a couple weeks ago, right? March 4th or somewhere in that range. Are we still on target for the 30 days to stop, or is that still the target?
The conversion, yes. So we're going through that. Oh, do you want to do? Your pipes are an environment. That environment, we got to disinfect it. We got to, let the chlorine sit, let it do its job, disinfect. Then we remove it and go back to chloramines. But because before, we would just do it for a little bit, not let it sit, and it wouldn't be effective. Now we let it sit, let the biofilms that are, contaminants that we need to disinfect are disinfected, and then we go back to our chloramines. And we're managing, that's how we are able to maintain that quality. So it's more effective now.
I think the goal is to stop on April 4th, right?
Yeah.
On April 4th, stop. 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have received a couple of comments that we understand it's necessary. It just seems like it's really bad this time, or worse than it has been.
Because we're being more effective.
Those are Bonois and Fafurias, bro, for 3 days. I mean,
It's a disinfectant that's needed because you have biofilm in the pipes.
Right.
And you need to, it gets encrusted. And you need to be able to penetrate that biofilm to get rid of the bad stuff.
So, the state has done the study of this, and so have other states. It's, people complain because of a change. They've studied people who have free chlorine all the time, and they don't complain about the odor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like it's the amount, it's because it's not what they're used to.
It's changed, yeah.
It's a change.
No,
Because
it's a change.
people who have, and there are some cities who do not use chloramine, which has a little less odor.
Right.
And they're always on chlorine. they complain less than the people who have the change. So it's the change.
It's the change.
It's not the, oh, this is burning my skin, and no, nobody else is, no, other people have it. It's not burning your skin.
Right, I think, like, for us, or at least for me, just to know what all the information is, to be able to explain that, like, well, it's for these reasons that we're doing this, you know, so that.
But sometimes you explain
It's
and someone
recommended by the
understands.
state, you can just say something as
There's
simple
a-
as that. I get calls all the time, you know, people are like, why does
I was
water
sure.
smell like this? Well, it's recommended by the state, it's totally safe.
Yeah,
I can't
You're just
understand
switching
it.
and it'll go back to normal in 30 days.
right.
So,
It's,
simple.
what is the normal?
Simple.
Simple, it is simple.
The 30-day free chlorine is gonna be part of our normal
Right.
until we go to chlorine dioxide.
Yeah, and that may, yeah, that's
And
probably,
then,
make it every 2 years.
chlorine dioxide is gonna generate its own little issues
Yeah,
on new homes. You'll see it.
What would the issue be on a new home?
Sometimes the padding and carpets with the chlorine gas, the chlorine dioxide, it reacts and creates an odor.
I see.
And sometimes you'll get complaints that my water smells like cat urine.
Okay.
And I've been through that. In the city of McAllen, we would get complaints, especially in new homes. And we ask them, do you have carpeting? Yes, okay. It's the chlorine dioxide reacting with the foam padding. It reacts and it creates a smell.
Interesting.
and they put a lot of chemicals in carpeting and carpet padding and formaldehyde and.
The worst thing you can have in the house,
Benzene.
carpet. It accumulates
Best
dust
Yeah.
and more.
That's gotta, yeah.
But that's just, a small sample of things that, some people are more sensitive to it, others, they don't. Especially people that have cats.
Other people just have better things to worry about.
It is what it is. Anyways, any other comments for Mr. Garcia? No? We're good. We're gonna go into, we don't need to vote on this. Item number 5, Amistad Water Partnership.
That is ongoing. I met with the city attorney, we're gonna try to set up some meetings, I don't know if it's this week or after I get back from the conference. That I'm trying to set up a meeting with Eagle Pass to go visit with them, so that's something that's working.
Let me know when you're gonna,
No, I'll let you know.
maybe I can go.
Okay, I'll let you know. I'll send out a notice to everybody when I'm headed over. And that's all, as far as Amistad partnership.
Okay, that's it? Any questions from the board? No? Okay. Then we're gonna go to the item number 6, water conservation.
You want me to?
Yes,
fill
go
in?
ahead.
I'm sorry, Mika, your name?
I'm Sheila Sedna.
Ms. Ella's gonna make a presentation.
I'm the new water conservation planner. And so there's a couple things, slowly but surely, that are happening. One of them is the update to the water conservation ordinance. That's being updated and will be presented at City Council April 2nd. There's quite a bit of irrigation schedule changes that are gonna happen, as well as like xeriscape options and a little bit more, I guess, stringent requirements on things like car washes for fundraisers. Like, we're no longer gonna allow that unless that happens at a car wash like facility, instead of having it happen in a parking lot per se. Then you have a bunch of detergents and things that run off into our storm drain, so it doesn't only deal with water conservation, but also water pollution. All of this, of course, depends on the approval of council and Mr. Garcia's review, but those are just the little things that are.
So obviously with that, you guys are educating, you went to school, you're saying, hey, we can't allow these solvents in here. You're asking 7 people for their opinion, and then they tell you no, we're gonna allow the car washes, or you're gonna say, no, this is gonna happen, we're not gonna allow car washes anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, unless I misunderstood, you have to go to city council and present these for.
Well, yeah, they have to approve the
That's what I'm saying,
amendments to the
you guys
ordinance.
are the ones that are educated, telling me this is what's
Oh,
best for
right.
Laredo.
Yeah,
Like, they should just be like, okay, but, you know what I'm saying, like.
there might be pushback is what you're saying?
Yeah, no, whether there's pushback, like, but,
They would have to have read all the ordinance in order to probably make a comment during the council, because usually the
so it's just
ordinances.
gonna be 72 to 75 pass. It's gonna be-
Maybe.
Well, the ordinances kind of go through public, remember, you know, they open up the public hearing.
It's a public hearing.
And so somebody has to talk, like somebody that reads it or can make comments on it, you know, it has to go through the public hearing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go through two readings,
It's a
through two
process.
council meetings.
So, I think it's important, talk about the irrigation schedule changes.
Okay, all right. So the way that,
I
we-
just, excuse me, if I don't hear you, forgive me, because I'm still kind of like congested from my COVID.
Oh, you know, you.
Just text them.
You sound interesting.
Yeah, I tell everybody selective hearing problem I have.
Go ahead, Leo.
okay, so I took a page from a lot, and I spent a lot of time reviewing other cities' water conservation ordinances. Not just San Antonio, not just Corpus Christi, but I did like Wichita Falls and Plano and populations that are similar to ours, poverty rates that are similar to ours. I looked at Seabrook, I looked really all over the state. And so what I found was that the majority of cities, when they're in stage one, only allow irrigation to happen on 2 days. So that's what is implemented in this amendment. So the days will be twice a week. So irrigation during stage one would be twice a week, and irrigation during stage two would be once a week.
And right now, Laredo.
Right now, it's during stage one, 3 times a week, and stage two, no, actually, stage one is voluntary, you don't even have to, you don't have to.
We have nothing
We
on
have
stage
nothing.
one.
And then stage two is 3 times a week. So now we're going from 3 times a week to once a week. And it's going to cause headaches, people are going to be upset, but to Mr. Rogers' point, you know, change, people don't like change. And we went through COVID and came out of the other side just fine, because we learned how to live with it. And so that's what the city of San Antonio has done with their water conservation ordinance. That's what the city of Dallas and every other city around, cities around the state have done.
What about odd number streets and even number streets?
Yes,
Even
there
number
are-
houses?
Yeah, so, stage one, we still have the even number, odd number system. So even number would be Mondays and Thursdays only. Odd numbers would be Tuesdays and Fridays only, during stage one. And then for stage two,
But you can water by hand.
you can water by hand with a positive, you know, like the nozzle, the shut off.
Any-
You can do that at any time, you know,
Anyway,
any day, or with a bucket. So that is still going to be allowed, but not with your irrigation system or sprinkler system.
Because I know that there are some cities, when they're not in any stage, they want odd number houses to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and even number to do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. They really do that to help balance the tanks and the flows, because if everybody, the default is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at certain time, we're all watering at the same time. It's not good for our whole system, regardless of water conservation, so are we changing that? So that
We
would,
are changing it to the even odd number system, and they both have different days that they irrigate.
when
on.
there's no stage.
Yeah, well, that's something that we need to fine tune our system, our operations, to know what cycles we wanna give. Because we need to define our system operation better to let people know, okay, odd north will be in the evenings, odd in the mornings, or whatever cycle you're doing. Like, if you understand your system, cause I know some
Yeah,
communities.
but I don't make it too complicated for the customer, just, if you got an odd number house, even number house, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I wasn't gonna try to think about the time of day.
Because that's how you can curtail that peak and high demand.
Now, let me ask you this, because San Antonio, so obviously San Antonio does this schedule already, right? That you said one, like on stage one, they already have it watering certain days only, right? How often does San Antonio go into a drought system the way we do? Because they have 9 different sources of water. We have 1. So how often do they go into?
There is no such thing in other cities to go into like a no stage drought condition.
Oh, you're always in a,
Well, it's considered like a mild shortage. So there's no like stage 0. It's always stage 1 because you're okay. You're doing
But if we're
fine.
okay, then why would I only be allowed to water twice a week?
Because you still want to be able to conserve water.
But we're not in a drought.
You're managing your resources.
You're still
Yeah,
managing
it's
your
still,
resources.
it's still kind of a, yeah, it's a good way to put it.
You try to
You
keep,
still want to manage the resource.
So,
okay,
You don't
I
wanna
answered my
have a-
question. So stage 1 is our normal life.
Stages
Stage one
are
is everyday
is our
normal.
everyday.
Okay.
Right, stage 2 is we're moderate, stage 3 is critical, stage 4 is emergency, like
Yeah.
we really need to cut back because Amistad is
Yeah.
lower than 15%.
Sure.
So on the new version, what is stage 3? No watering at all?
Stage 3 is every other week.
oh,
Once a week, every
Once
other
a
week.
week, every other week.
That's irrigation, but not.
Yeah, correct,
but
yeah,
of
yeah.
course you could
But
just
you
give
can
all.
always use your,
like, prohibit the washing of concrete. You know.
Yes, that is included, that's a definition that I've included.
What is
That's
stage
a-
3 now?
That's,
That's a cultural thing, I think.
Yes.
stage
For us.
3 is still twice a
But,
week.
but that's something that we need to, in a
Yeah.
situation, we need to get people used to doing.
Yeah.
why don't we get them,
Stage 3 is twice a week
Yeah.
get them blowers?
right now.
You know,
That's a dirty word.
you know what, get them blowers.
Oh,
I mean, I stop throwing water, I get my blowers and,
But then you,
Where do you
the
blow it to the
organic
street?
loading into the river.
Yeah, where do you blow to?
no, it just
No,
goes everywhere.
to the street.
It goes everywhere.
Well, if you're my neighbor, you
What do you want me to do? I'm not, you know, we're not getting, you know,
At
not,
all.
no, we're having you do it, then you don't, then, you know, and what I'm saying is, you know, we need to tell people, like, you know, get yourself some blowers and,
Yeah, the correct answer is I accumulated, put it in my mulch pile. And I-
well, that's what I do for, with my leaves and all that, you know, but third, you know.
I think San Antonio has, doesn't permit San Augustine any longer.
San Antonio's getting, my sister and my brother-in-law live over there.
No.
And they have inspectors, let me tell you, they've got inspectors, and my question was gonna be to us, Mr. Garcia, do you have inspectors that go physically out there and inspect all this? Or is it the city?
Not enough.
We have
We
2
have two, but we
and
need to add-
we're
No, we need
looking,
more.
but we're looking for a third if
Open up
we
the-
had unlimited funds. I'd
Open up the
probably
application
say.
process, I'll apply for it now.
That's right.
Rick, that's only on new homes. That's not like they're going out and making you take out your St. Augustine.
Oh, no, but still,
Right.
that's.
No,
that's
I
a big
mean,
thing.
no thirsty grasses, you know, that's what
No
they're, hey, they're trying to get you, that's why you can get by with 2
Yeah.
twice a week.
Yeah.
That's
And,
up the
and the
rocks.
problem
So
with
it's problem
Laredo
solved.
is that the homeowner associations think that they have control, like complete control over their communities.
subdivision.
Yeah, their subdivision, but, and because, so I will give you an example. I have a friend who lives in San Isidro. She wants to xeriscape her front lawn, and they say, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to convert your front lawn into a xeriscape landscape.
Because those are written into the
Because those are
bylaws of
written
the
into the
homeowners
HOAs.
associations,
But
correct.
HOAs cannot,
They
they're,
don't supersede
they
city
don't
rules.
supersede
correct.
city, state,
No,
federal
never,
regulations.
Never.
So, there's a lot of public awareness and education.
Yeah,
that
there
needs
needs to be
happen.
some awareness on that, because, I mean, I think, I live in an HOA too, so.
And
I'm
also,
sure
if we
several
had
people do.
unlimited funds, I would also start a Xeriscape rebate program.
So this is where we need to get together with our planning department and building department.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if you're doing that or not, you know, it's always good to communicate with our inner departments, and, you know, it's very important. because they allow all this, and then, you know, when the HOA, you know, come into play, it's where our department heads need to sit down with them and tell them, hey, guys, this is what we're trying to practice for the future of our city. And, you know, I think it's a good idea, you know, I don't know if you do it now or not, but it's just neat.
Yeah, I know that they're doing some sort of like amendments to their ordinances as well, right?
Ordinances?
Like the planning and zoning
Was yours good?
type of
Not the-
ordinances.
What is it called that?
Because I already have mine.
The code,
Building
The
code.
recode,
the recode.
Or
recode.
The
Recode.
recode.
The recode.
they're working on recode, but. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be difficult to get around existing HOA bylaws because for an HOA to modify their own bylaws,
They need the membership.
they need membership, and I guess we saw in the newspaper on that park deal, it's very common with HOAs, it's very, very difficult to get the membership required to attend, and the meeting attendance so that you have the voting ability to vote on an HOA change. So, I
So
sat
what
on,
I'm
I sat on my
hearing is that we
HOA
don't
for
need
many years, and I was like, it was so hard to do it, because you don't get people. But all in all, I think it goes back to that, I mean, discussion with an attorney, right? But obviously, I would believe that city, state, and federal guidelines would supersede an HOA
Yeah.
bylaw.
Well, I know,
So we just need to educate people on that.
yeah, in fact, I
Or
was
HOA.
involved in a situation where there was an HOA and we had to get our city attorney with their attorney and had a discussion on what they could and could not do.
Yeah,
Because they had requirements that did not meet city requirements.
correct.
So, but it involved getting two legal individuals
Sure.
to discuss it.
Sure.
So, yeah, there's things that need to happen, like, I would like for our water conservation inspectors to also be certified irrigation kind of evaluators. Because that way, when they go out to inspect a home, they'll know, okay, this irrigation system has a zonal system, or it's just all the same type of sprinkler head all around, which isn't necessary. So I want to include zonal systems into this ordinance as well. Again, fingers crossed that everything goes through and there's no extreme pushback on it. But that's included in here as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all have any other suggestions. I think it hasn't gone to council yet, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a window to still modify the ordinance.
Let's just.
So isn't this, no, sorry, is this the point where you're like, hey, talk to your city council members, this is what's coming up? If they have any questions before it goes to city council, I'm sure
They
them
know.
of it.
Yeah,
That would be ideal.
and I was about to mention that, and also pound on the issue, when you mentioned on the car washes, you need to pound on the issue of the environmental impact, the water runoffs and all the contaminants.
Yes.
If you pound on that issue, they're gonna think about it, how to vote.
Okay.
You know, because at the end of the day, everything goes down the drain. And if you don't pound on the issue of environmental, and this is where we need to get together with the other Department of Environmental.
Right.
You need to work with them.
I would like to be a part of their advisory committee meetings, but I don't think they've met for
Well,
over a
Yeah.
year or something like
yeah,
that.
but, you know, we meet with the director and tell them, you know, hey, I need your help over here. I think it's a very good idea to work together.
Yeah,
And-
definitely.
And you would make a better impact to city council, because in the union, it's the strength. In union, California. Anyway,
You know,
No, but I know there's things that I still need to go with staff and go over, and then also I need to talk to management, because I know there were some key points brought up during council. You know, Dr. King mentioned some things, and I know Councilwoman Figueroa also mentioned some things. Everyone is gonna have input, and, you know, they wanna put their mark on it, which, you know, that's what they're there for. They're the legislative body. So we just need to give them the best recommendations. What is the trend and the purpose? The purpose is to drop your per capita consumption, because we're trying to manage our resource so that in the future growth, we're able to grow, not have to expand our plants that fast. to where your per capita consumption is dropping, so that you don't have to make that much of an expansion. Your timetables are longer instead of short. So that's what you're trying to do, because like, I guess our per capita consumption right now is 110?
Yeah,
So we're trying to be below 100, try to get to 90.
yeah.
And that way, that extra that we gain, we're able to spread that use out in domestic use.
And toilet leaks, faucet leaks, wealthy people get their plumber. They probably wait too late, but that's okay, they can pay the water bill. But in a poorer community, they ignore it because they don't know how to fix it, they don't have a plumber, maybe a single mother or something that, oh, I gotta get this, and they're not that hard. But even in my house, oh yeah, honey, I'll get to it. So, we gotta find a way, I think, to pay for people's leaks, fix them for them. The poorer people, we fight with them all the time. Your bill, we gave you a leak adjustment, and you still owe us $500, $900, $1,000, and their own payment plans. A lot of people on payment plans because of leak adjustments. We gave them some money back, we'll do anybody who has a normal leak, as long as they fix the leak. But they went on and on and on forever, and look how much water we could have saved if we would have, let's get a guy, let's go do that. But we need a mechanism, so, other taxpayers or ratepayers may not agree. Maybe you have to have volunteer, maybe you have to have, do you want to give an extra dollar to your bill to help those in need of plumbing repairs to save water? We need some creative ways to fix leaks. All we do is argue with them, and all we do is use money as the incentive, and then we end up having to give them a credit and put them on payment plans. And then, people who can't, and their water bill is huge because of a leak, because they didn't fix it. We don't have any magic wands to give them free water.
If I may, what exactly categorizes or classifies a leak? Or like a drip during the night, or a busted water lines that they don't know where?
Most of them are
Continuous flow.
continuous flow.
Okay.
Really?
We see, the meter tells us okay, flows never stop.
Yeah, this thing is not
Just going
stopping.
up.
On and on and on.
Let me ask you, when you see that, do you all send
We don't see it like you think we see it.
No. What I'm saying is, do you send notices to the people or something? No, you don't?
After
So-
the fact.
Way after the fact.
It's like 2 or 3 months.
It takes like 2 or 3 months.
And you gotta collect the data
Yeah.
to show.
We don't it comes up.
It's not instantaneous.
Yeah, but like you said, we gotta find mechanisms how to resolve all this. And it's hard, but we'll get there, I guess.
Yeah, all those things kind of have to be, built in. We gotta find a way to do this, gotta find a way to fix people's leaks, so it's okay, when it finally got painful enough and we turned your water off, because you weren't paying your bill, then they come up and go yeah, well, you've got a leak, we're seeing this, you gotta go fix it.
Yeah.
Then they fix it, and then they make a down payment, and then we put them on a payment plan, and then we give them, because you fixed your leak, we give you an adjustment one time a year, on that, but they still had a high bill for 3 months or something.
Right.
It's
And then-
humans.
And then you have to take into consideration that, in today's world, where everybody just has, what do they call it, auto pay, that they don't even look at their bill?
Yeah, that's happened.
Yeah,
That-
that's
that's
what's going on, they just say,
But
well,
they email you, and they're like, hey, we're gonna charge this, your bill,
Yeah.
but you don't have to worry about calling it in, but you get a 2-week email telling you how much you're.
yeah, well, for example, myself, I'm, I guess, working my way up to the golden years, and
You're right here,
I
Cotty.
don't know what that is.
thank you.
That's a golden years?
So I don't pay my bill personally at City Hall Annex.
I'm at Platinum right now for my life, but yeah,
And
a couple more years.
nevertheless, I'm happy to see less a shorter line when I'm paying there. So that says that there are more people paying, auto pay.
But even they have the kiosk outside, you can pay.
Do they?
Yeah, you park right there, it's like an ATM, and you pay your water bill right there, you don't have to go inside.
At the end, on the left-hand side.
So you have
It's not a
that
great big sign, but there's a little sign
And you go
there.
bank ATMs where you drop off, or you walk right there, no one's ever using it.
Okay.
Then you have locations at the mall and all that.
It's in English.
Well, it's in English, but I have to count me out.
No, it's got.
No, but anyway, going back, yeah, what I'm getting at is there are individuals out there that just probably don't care to look at their statement, they just say, hey, I pay monthly, the hell with it.
I look at the average, I know how much I pay per month, I mean, if I see something different, then, but you get an email, you can tell them to email you all your stuff, because I don't like paper, I don't like going to the mail. So everything to me is paperless.
You need to talk to my sister up in Houston. She has mail in her house stored from 1975. She'll get to it one day.
Oh,
Maybe
You don't, that's about as far I'm gonna go with it, okay? So, no, anyway, yeah, please, Mr. Chair, please.
So are we, any other,
Comments,
When it
questions?
comes, so this is, you're planning on taking this on the first meeting in April?
Yes.
So that's also like of all this, she goes out there, great presentation, city council's like, no, we don't like this because my school does car wash, like, for the most stupidest reason, they're gonna say no. How do we have, no, it's,
Yeah, no,
you're telling them, an educated person who did studies and all this is telling them, we need to do this, they should just say, hey,
Well, that's the trend.
yeah.
Do you wanna conserve water? Yes or no? That's the way I'm gonna put it.
there are waterless ways to wash cars. I see it on TV, right? So you can still have your car washed. It's gonna need to be whatever the waterless way is.
It can be a sponge bath car wash, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the end of mobile car washing then, right?
Yeah.
this is,
No, not the facilities.
No, doesn't show up to your office while you're working.
Oh,
The guys that carry
yeah,
those tanks
don't
and
get me started on that.
power wash.
Because they do conserve water because they have it in their tank.
Yeah, they have a tote to
Yeah,
bring
they don't
to bring
just-
water to you.
Yeah.
But where is that water going?
It's the ones that are running up to the hoses of a building and the building guy goes, yeah, you can use my parking lot. And he hooks up and the hose is running all the time.
Most of the other guys who do the
That-
tanks.
that-
And then, what about the guy that captures the water in a little inflatable tub?
That is okay, that is good, if he disposes of it properly, but he won't.
And then he
you know?
filters
You try doing it in the plastic, just don't talk about it.
and I know you're trying to be the devil's advocate, you know,
No, it's not the devil's advocate, it's what we're going through.
City council, city council.
Let me tell you, we have a project that's already a year and a half old because they're not educated enough to say yes or no of things that we need, okay, to get this project going for the water. So I'm saying she comes, she does all these studies, great presentation, and they're not educated in that field, and they still have a right to say yes or no, but this should be like, this needs
Just so
to be
you
done.
know, utilities has an item that is usually tabled every council meeting or put off. Utilities, everybody, it's like the big target. So what he's referring to is we've had a contract to do some pump testing for months now that one of the council members tabled because she didn't like something on it. It hasn't gone back, hasn't been approved, so his contract is in limbo because we can't do that, we need to do the pump testing first. We took an item before this last council meeting for pump repairs. She didn't like a specific vendor within the three. That item got tabled, so now we have no way to fix pumps at the plant because that item got tabled. So it's, what he's trying to say is that we have a history of having our items be rejected, tabled, or denied, and so it's going to be an uphill battle for her to pass something because for whatever reason, utilities has not been very, you know, this is why
I
this
understand.
committee is very
I can
important, to
understand.
educate your member, because they don't realize that there is such severity to a lot of the things that they're tabling that hasn't been really disclosed, and they all talk about transparency, and I think they like to, you know, I guess talk about certain, or deny certain vendors' contracts, and that's okay, but you're jeopardizing the citizens, because if something goes wrong at these plants, it's because these contracts did not get approved. That's pretty much the bottom line.
I'm a former
And,
politician,
you know-
Mika, hold on. I'm a former councilman. It's so sad when there's politics involved. And sometimes, if they don't like someone, it's just gonna sit there.
Yep.
And that's
It's
And that's
so
what's
sad.
happening.
And that's what's happening.
And I can, and just, I haven't heard this, but I think I know what the problem is. And, you know, and it's so sad. But anyways, there's gonna be politics and it's gonna be like that. And, I wasn't even aware, we could really look into it. But, and I don't need to know like, who searched what or who's for who or what. It's just upsetting that when it's politics, and when someone doesn't like someone, it's just gonna happen. I lost a contract of $500,000 selling a piece of real estate because of politics. And how sad, because it was a very good venture for the school district, and I didn't make $500,000. But that's okay. It is what it is. And when you're not liked, they're just gonna keep on dragging you on and on. I'm glad I'm not that person, you know, what's happening, I don't know what's going
I was gonna say,
on.
afterwards, what she's saying, it's TCQ part, like, we cannot have this and this and done. How do they say no to you? This is like,
Well, they keep, like, I know they keep mentioning San Antonio Sport, but, you know, we need to be progressive. I go, here's the progressive ordinance.
yeah.
This is us thinking outside the box. This is the trend. This is what communities, the purpose, the overall purpose is to drop per capita consumption. Because, you know, we wanna preserve what we have. That's all.
And you know, and water conservation is a double-edged sword, because he's been talking about water conservation to council within his staff reports for the last X number of meetings. And then it always comes back and boomerangs back on us, because there's like, but you all flush your lines, so you're not conserving water. But what do you want me to do with the water? I have to flush it, so.
Once again, that's what I'm saying, uneducated, don't know why.
It's,
But you try to educate them, but they can only understand so much, and every time they get to staff reports, you've got maybe 5-10 minutes tops left in the meeting, because it's gonna shut down at 11, and you don't get the attention.
What time did you guys get, 10:45?
This last one, what time did it end at, 11? I mean, I don't know, I didn't watch.
11. So we could vote and change utilities to AAA utilities, you know, so we're in front of the phone book. Because right now, airport starts. If we were like AAA, we got AAA, we're the
But
first.
it's not about the letter, because at the end of the day, you just look at the consent agenda. His staff report is always at the very end.
Always.
So what they do is, all the council member items get shifted all the way to the top. We talk for hours about, I don't know, whatever, and then everything else gets
I
discussed.
hate that.
And then they go to executive session for 2 hours, and then they come back and say, well, we've got 5 minutes to approve the consent agenda. And then they're like, but I want to talk about this item, but we only have 2 minutes, so it's tabled now. And that's the problem that I think everybody, yeah, I think everybody in here needs to talk to their council member.
You see my target?
To talk about, I mean, forget about, like, I think everybody needs to talk to their council member to talk about the severity of these items not getting approved for utilities, because you know what? It's not like, I mean, we wouldn't be taking them before council if they weren't necessary, right?
of
And-
course.
And so
Well,
that's.
again, remember, I've been asking the meetings for you guys to send us an email. This is coming up in city council meeting. Please talk and tell why this is important.
When I first started, they had the operations committee and then the finance groups. And that helped, because things were kind of hashed out. What's your problem? We don't like this, or things. So that when it went to the consent agenda, you know, parts of the council had already seen
But
this
this is
thing.
the problem with this. They don't voice their questions. We now have to submit agenda items 3 weeks almost before.
Before.
So that gives us-
Now it's like,
But that gives us 3 weeks to.
no, I know, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
they don't tell you, they don't pick up the phone and say, hey, how come this
They're
contract
not
is this?
gonna
Or-
pick up the phone.
No, they're not gonna call you.
It's like a drive-by shooting. I'm not gonna tell you I'm coming by, we're gonna wait till you're there.
Yeah,
That's why we're all sitting here, say, hey Lou, get with your district and tell these is why, and then if she has some sort of questions, they ask me, so I could tell them.
And we've always asked,
Yeah.
why don't you all let us know? And somebody once said, oh, I didn't know we were allowed to call y'all. Well, you're ambushing me in council, but you're not asking me ahead of time so that we could prepare an answer.
So let's just say the truth, they're not gonna call you, right? But we're here.
Well, the problem is that a lot of them, you see them on the, oh,
They're getting their questions from someone on the phone and say, oh, by the way, you know,
Former, disgruntled employees.
Ask them discussing or whatever.
But I'm saying, to help a little bit out, it'll be good to say, "Look, this is an agenda, guys. Please note that we do need this approved, because this is withholding this, and this plan does this for us, and this sits it down.
and Lou, I understand that comment. This last time, there were 2 items that went to you, but I don't want to notify you about it,
Oh, right.
because, you know, it's.
Of course, but the thing that sucks that we did have somebody to do the testing, it was through a buy board contract, they canceled it, they bid it twice, it's been a shit show.
it's still tabled.
Silver
Yeah.
lining, I think that water conservation is something that's been mentioned at council meetings over and over again, and this is their opportunity to show that they're actually serious about it. You know, it's Dr. King,
For everybody who ran
Alyssa
this last time, that's all we talked
Alyssa
about.
Cigarroa, like that they,
Yeah.
it's at the forefront of everybody's mind, so like Arturo said, you know, it's about water conservation, and it's like, is that what you want, or is it not what you want? So they can, at the end of the day, hash whatever it is that they need to hash.
Details.
Yeah, the details. Get the car wash and the fundraisers and the children who are gonna be so upset
There's
that
other
they
ways
can't
to
wash
raise money.
cars, right?
There's other ways to
I went to Chick-fil-A yesterday, they had a fundraiser there, so.
Well, but you see, this is where I think you need to work with this organizations and with the companies that do the car washes or whatever, where you take your, the car wash companies, you tell them, why don't you have, approach the schools and say, like, Cane's and Chick-fil-A, they'll give you $1
Uh-huh.
for every car that's
Yeah.
washed. You know, instead
Yeah.
of, you know, we're trying to.
That's what it's shifting to.
Yeah, and that's awesome, but you see, we're trying to,
Tilted kid.
you know, you just go to
Not
those.
allowed anymore.
So, I mean, it's an idea.
Bikini
Sheila,
top.
Sheila, I'm talking.
Sorry.
You need to do this, that's your responsibility. And, you know, I mean, because like, you know, like I said, Lou, you go to city council and they're trying to, you know, they want to say yes, but they, at the end they say no, and it's not fair. But he said it, they're smart, but then it's all politics. At the end of the day, if we come with a plan and say, okay, we're gonna approach these companies and hopefully, you know, if they can.
He's right, I guarantee you, it won't be a local Chick-fil-A, but you find the corporate, and they're gonna have a conservation manager. They're gonna have someone in that organization, because they don't wanna be known as a bad company, you know, wasteful company. They don't in their products. They're thinking about how much paper and stuff. They do think about those things. If you were to, I think, write a letter to the corporate and say, we are wanting to change the water use in Laredo, and that involves car washes at your facilities.
I didn't get it.
Here and others, what ideas do you have
When we're talking other stuff.
to share? How can you participate in us getting this done? I think you'll get into help.
Anyways, okay, it's already 1 o'clock, and any other questions for Sheila?
No, I think she got enough.
Practicing for the council meeting.
I think you already got enough.
Okay. We don't need to vote on it?
No.
I don't think so. Okay. Okay, the topic for the next meeting, item number 7.
I keep bringing up the master plan.
Huh?
The master
The
plan.
master plan.
No, we can revisit the master plan again.
If it's
I
ready
think
or-
right now, we're working on CIP, correct?
We
So,
met yesterday on CIP for all of water. Next Wednesday, we meet for all of sewer. We're updating the CIP. But I don't think the sewer master plan is finalized yet. So, I mean, we could talk about the water one, but did you all finalize the water one?
the water is finalized, but the one on the website says draft, but supposedly they were supposed to remove the draft on it. But it's finalized, because I know that there's the word draft across it. But
I mean, we could probably talk about what's upcoming on our CIP, what we
Yeah,
have
yes.
identified as projects that we need to still work
That
on.
probably would be more
So
productive.
we
Yeah.
could probably do CIP instead of.
Do our
um,
current CIP, I think that'll,
Yeah.
for the next meeting, I'll bring that up.
Any other, discussion?
Mr. Chair, if I may, sure. If we can have a follow-up as to what has developed in regards to your meeting the city of Laredo had with our federal officials up in DC to see what their response has been to this meeting.
Okay.
In regards to water conservation, Amistad, what is it? The Amistad Partnership?
Yes.
Because as of right now, well, trying to desalinization and taking other routes and stuff like that, that's years down the road.
That's further, that's.
Well, and you know where I'm coming from, right? Right now, I mean, Water Sources de Rio Grande and Amistad has a lot of play in how much water we have.
Correct. Okay, I will do that.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chair?
Any other? No?
So for the next meeting, I believe normally we have it the second Thursday of the month, but the second Thursday is April 11th. Bruno and I will be in Dallas, at a Texas Water for Texas, or whatever you call it, Texas Water Conference. So if we could have it on the 18th, we can move it to the 18th.
I'm fine.
I don't have any issues.
That's fine.
Just my 2 cents is that the next city council meeting is April 15th. And it'll go, the water conservation ordinance will go to that council meeting as well.
April 1st and April 15th.
April 2nd and April 15th.
Sorry, that's right, April 2nd.
So on the 15th, it goes to city council?
That's the second
First,
meeting.
first reading is April 2nd.
Yeah, but the second one, it's on the 15th.
Yes.
So if you all wanted to discuss something before April 15th. we
Okay,
would be-
so you said you're gonna be out,
We
quick?
we would meet on the 18th.
Or we could provide comments via
Just
email.
give us
I guess.
comments.
We get
Yeah.
it, we can
Just
do
give us
comments
comments.
on email.
Yeah.
And then we'll summarize it when we get it.
You'll be gone the 11th and 12th?
9th through the 12th.
Oh,
And we will potentially have, and we'll let Jerry, if this happens, we'll have Jerry inform you all. City manager's trying to have a workshop on April 8th, a utilities workshop, which to discuss a lot of the items that council has been bringing up, I guess regarding, water conservation, zero-scaping, a lot of different secondary water sources. So if that workshop is gonna go through and it's something that I think you all need to know, we'll send you all an email, see if it's open to the public. I have no idea how they're gonna set it up or what exactly they wanna discuss, but we'll let you all know if you all wanna attend that one.
They're trying to set up for 3 o'clock,
I won't be in town.
but I'll just, blast out an email and just let you know that it's, when it's happening. But, pretty much it's the secondary water that they want conservation.
and this is, I'm sorry, and this is gonna be where?
It's City Hall,
City Hall?
council chambers.
It's
Well,
just
maybe-
specific to utilities.
Maybe, well, yeah. My suggestion or an idea, a crazy idea, if they're gonna, if you're gonna invite us and if 5 of us or 6 of us are gonna go or whatever, we're only 5, I think.
That'll be the day of the eclipse, so guys be careful.
But there's gate,
Oh, it is a day.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna be in town.
You're gonna
Maybe
go
out
look for
there.
the eclipse?
My birthday.
You're gonna go look for the
anyways,
eclipse?
what I was gonna suggest is if they're having that on the 8th and we can get 5 of us, maybe we can meet an hour before, have our meeting, and then we stay there.
It's an idea.
Why not?
Mike is gonna be hunting the solar.
I also have the eclipse date marked out. Alright, you're not gonna see another one in your lifetime, so
That's the 8th, right?
that's the 8th.
Yeah, we'll see you there in Eagle Pass.
Yeah, there you go.
You are gonna be there?
San Antonio.
Awesome. Like Travis.
Eagle Pass and Wilder.
So they're
Oh, yes, come up right
If you don't have the
And then,
file, we
I'm
can
gonna
submit
try and follow it.
Link everyone?
I'm sure traffic will not let you, but that's a
Yeah.
good. Well, good drive.
To Wilder.
we're gonna send baby girl, and then clear baby girl, get the blood, and all that stuff.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna count it 20 miles an hour.
Y'all can discuss the eclipse after the meeting, because some of us have to go take a nap.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
I say, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion there.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor, second by Mr. Solis, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.